While police received the 911 call from this Hunter's food store right here, the actual crime scene, well, that happened right here at this Phillips 66 gas station across the street. Standing right here at one of the houses that was the worst hit, if you take a look with me, you can see that the insulin actually is stuck to this house. This is a scene that stretches for 2 blocks. Right here behind me, if you take a look, you can see that the firefighters are having to wash off their entire uniform, and right above it, you can tell why. This is a hazmat situation. Thank you for joining us. I'm Erica Kenner. A Duncan water plant worker was stabbed multiple times by 3 men late last night while working. Breaking news this evening as Comanche County Emergency Management Director Clint Wagstaff is arrested for inappropriate contact with a teenage boy. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Erica Kenner. Well, we begin tonight with more on the arrest of this prominent public official. And now the victim's parents are speaking out, trying to flirt with them. Isn't that crazy? I would think that it would be the other way around. I would still think that even though it's a slight amount of people, that women still can sense when men are flirting. But
I think women, yeah, because it's a guy. The guys always have to make the first move. Girls, y'all don't do a lot. You're
I can
lazy,
see that.
You're lazy and you don't do a lot as far as...
You cannot say that.
I can't take it back. I don't know what to do.
You can't take it back. You can't take it back.
You're the one that brought this up, so I'm going to get it out. Look, the girls, they need to be more outgoing and always do it.
Now, law enforcement is actually keeping us away from the scene of the fatality, which is really only 1 street over from where they are. They say that this is going to be an all-night deal because the streets are actually washed away from around where that house was. Now, what they tell us about that house is that the house was actually twisted and then thrown off of a hill. So what they've done is they've called in rope rescue teams to rappel down to that house to survey the damage and check and see if anyone else is injured. Now, today we spent most of the day over a falling water road where crews spent the day trying to cut down trees that had fallen on the street and get to one of the other hard-hit areas. It happened within seconds.
Came out of nowhere. Just started picking up a little wind and some raindrops, and all of a sudden I heard the wind picking up and picking up.
Griswold was just inches away when a tree came crashing through his home.
So I was standing in the hallway right next to it and watched it come down and started exiting as quick as I could.
Just up the street, Amy Bankowski and her fiance made it in the basement with seconds to spare.
Just got really loud, like it shattered our windows. It swung open one of our doors that was bolted shut, and there's broken glass all inside the house. And when the rain cleared, the familiar song after the storm rang in the air. Crews took more than an hour to cut their way through Falling Water Road, where there is just 1 way in and 1 way out.
When I walked out, I was amazed. I mean, you know, every tree here is down, every house has got some type of damage, some minor, a lot of them major.
But folks in this part of town say the good thing is nobody in their area was seriously injured, and they have that to be thankful for. Now, right now, rescue crews are actually overdoing a press conference. That's where my photographer is. And another hard-hit area that we want to tell you about over here in DeKalb County is called Puckett's Point. Again, we want to tell you that there is 1 confirmed fatality. It is a female. We don't have any other information about this woman, but we will try to bring you more as it becomes available. Back to you guys.
Shot twice in the chest, 30-year-old Jeffrey Renfro was loaded in an ambulance and was rushed to Vanderbilt Medical Center in critical condition.
The guy come in the store hollering, called the police. I've been shot and laid on the floor.
Store clerk Sharon Bryant said she called 911 and did what she could to help Renfro.
I put a rag to his chest and till the police got here.
While police received the 911 call from this Hunter's food store right here, the actual crime scene, well, that happened right here at this Phillips 66 gas station across the street.
And right in front of the eyes of Eric Briley and the lens of the gas station's camera.
There was a guy walking out of the car wash, walked right up to a car, had a gun drawn, shot at the car.
Scared and wondering what the shooter would do next, Briley prepared for the worst.
I have a carry permit and I already had my gun drawn. I didn't know what he was going to do.
And neither did Renfro, who, while being shot at, reversed into a gas pump. Wounded, he jumped out of the car and ran across the street. The gunman jumped into the car and sped north on Clarksville Pike. The suspect made it to Stevens Lane and Homeland Drive, where he bailed after the car got stuck in a ditch while he was trying to turn around. Police used K9 units and helicopters to search the area. But after a few hours, they say they lost the gunman's trail and had to call off the search. Crime scene investigators looked inside the stolen car for any clues that may lead them to the gunman. Erica Shaffer, Fox 17 News.
We was just having a quiet evening here at the house and decided we would pick some stuff up.
But the evening would prove to be anything but quiet. While carrying a bed frame into the house, Tanya Birdwell slipped and fell, fracturing her ankle and splitting her knee in half. The only one at home was her 6-year-old son, Tavin.
And Tavin started screaming, "Mama, your knee," and I looked and blood was just squirting out of it.
Calmly, Tavin let her know everything would be okay.
I said, "Mom, I'm going to do my best."
Tavin ran in and out of the house as quickly as he could, grabbing first his mother's purse, then a towel and the phone. All the time, his little mind was racing, fearing for his mother's life. Because you see, the only time Tavin had seen that amount of blood was in the movies.
Because when I watched a movie and I see that, the end of it, when people do that, you know what they do? They die.
But not when a hero is in the movie. This just happened to be real life. The hero, a 6-year-old, standing just over 3 feet tall, weighing in at 50 pounds. With the towel, Tavin held his mother's wound, trying to get it to stop bleeding. When he realized he couldn't force enough pressure with his hands,
Sit down on top of the towel to try to put enough pressure on it, and me telling him, because I was scared I was fixing to pass out.
Tavin sat on the towel, praying until paramedics arrived. One of the first to arrive just happened to be Tanya's nephew, who was shocked at his little cousin's actions.
It amazes me. I can't fathom how he done what he done that day. But thankfully he did.
There's no way to describe how proud I am of him, because he's a little boy that don't do well with anybody being hurt. Blood, anything freaks him out.
But this time, the first grader did what most boys his age only dream of, being a real life hero. In Palmer, Erica Shaffer, Fox 17 News.